I'm not in a huge rush.
There we are.
So I'm going to ask this fun question of your wingman. This tends to get a little R-rated. Is that going to offend anybody?
So I'm ex-military, like Mike, and I work in the oil field.
So you've heard worse. Got it.
I promise you, you cannot offend me.
He's like, let's try.
Oh, please do.
Plug in.
Challenge accept. Oh. No, I just tend to go down a rabbit hole every now and then. And, you know, when they chop the bad guy's head off, I like to add a little cinematic, just, you know, yum to it.
A little yum sauce. Go for it.
You know, it's your best friend some days. And
well, that's what I was telling him too. Like this character's, you know, or this campaign is probably gonna have a little more like emotion in it, and it's gonna be, you know, a little different, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not all blood and guts. We got to push all the fun psychological buttons before we're done.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I see. You're his surrogate cameraman while he needs to step out of frame. You're like his stunt man. There we go. Yeah. When the dangerous work needs done, we're calling in.
His double. I'm here.
There you go.
It's nice for fans. Like,
It's not
Where
a
do y'all
bad game. One more time.
Where are y'all at?
Washington State.
Washington,
All the way in the opposite corner.
Oh,
About
yeah.
as far as you can go short of Alaska or Hawaii. You know.
Yeah. I work up in North Dakota.
Okay.
And actually, I went up to Washington for Mike's wedding. So yeah.
Oh, you were there too. Cool.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yep, we were there for that.
You were there. Okay, I thought.
oh yeah, it's a wedding.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw you guys. It's like they look familiar.
Yeah, they bunked with us for a while he was doing school, and then they moved to Yakima and all that fun junk. But we were definitely close enough to make the trip. So,
Yeah.
so you work in North Dakota. Where do you call home?
Florida.
Okay.
Here, Florida. Yeah, I've been here for like 20 years, but I work 2 weeks up in Williston, North Dakota, and then I'm home for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. Not a bad gig.
I imagine it's worth the pay to make the trip, so you're doing it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I used to frame houses for a long time until I blew my knee up, and I don't do that anymore. So
Yeah, it's not bad. I wasn't ever wanting to go back to Williston, North Dakota, because I used to work back up there. And then my friend told me what he was making up there and told me to get me on in 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. And fuck, send me the information.
yeah, you know, when it falls in your lap, it's hard to say no some days.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, and it's a good gig.
Nice. So
All right.
I see we're a little meted up now.
Good to go. Yep.
That's right. Cool.
I did drugs.
Yeah, I gave him a little piece of my cookie I made the other night.
Nice. Cookies are friendly.
They were good. I made some s'mores cookies.
Oh yeah.
Woo-hoo, they turned out good. My buddy tried one last night and he goes, dude, these are literally the best edibles I've ever tasted my entire life. Like by far.
Homemade's always beat the store-bought because you don't need to worry about shelf life.
Yeah,
as soon as you can avoid all that shelf life garbage they have to stick in there, you lose a whole lot of that bitter nasty that seems to come with about half of it.
Yeah, all that shit. Yep. 100%.
And Juan Pablo, and he scratched his left nut when he was mixing up the batter, and
right.
You know, it's bad.
2 minutes before that. Yeah.
It's bad enough when it's your own nut. It's somebody else's. It gets awkward.
Yeah, I don't appreciate other people's nuts in my mouth.
Right.
Well,
except for Jim's.
you said last night, stupid.
He's not other people though. He's Jim.
Exactly. That's family.
I mean, hello.
That's family's nuts.
Yeah, family's nuts are okay.
That's right.
I thought it was just basically yourself.
Well, you know, I mean, that's exactly it. It's okay. It's like my own dick in my mouth. You know?
Who hasn't tried that?
I know, right?
Yeah, since you couldn't get that flexible, you surrogate out.
Here, Jim, you suck mine, I'll suck yours. It's like that's sucking our own.
Well, that used to be the definition of a buddy. He'd go into town, get 2 blowjobs, come back and give you one. You know, that's a buddy.
That's awesome.
That's when you know you're tight. You know?
Jim, I was gonna say, yeah, we're not best friends yet.
Nope.
We have yet to do that. Who's trying it? Am I getting the blowjobs or you get? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you get 2 and give one, or do you just get one? You know, you're gonna have to weigh the pros and cons on this. Maybe you take.
That's a win either way.
Well, and you could always, you know, round robin it. Next week he goes. Next week, the week after that, you go. So you know, it balances out.
You're just returning the favor at that point,
right?
One of us could just flip over and we could just same time. It's not gay then.
Well, yeah.
There's no eye contact. Yeah, exactly. It's good.
You do the 69, but on your side, so you're not impaling anybody to death. See, you know, you don't feel quite as claustrophobic.
Jim was like, we were talking about him spending the night, and he was like, I was like, yeah, you can just sleep in bed with us. And he goes, he started laughing. And I was like, what? And he goes, you can only imagine waking up with morning wood, you know, like, oh shit. To roll over and touching tips.
The question becomes who's middle at that point. I mean, or does somehow you start out one way and in the morning it's all scrambled like a deck of cards. You're like, I don't know what happened, but I slept well.
You ever seen your kids wake up and they're at like the head or at the feet of the bed? And you're like, how the hell did you? Oh yeah.
Your wife's in the bed, so I feel like you have to be the middle.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm.
Or we can just go sleep in the living room.
Win-win for Mike. Yeah.
Babe, we need the night. We need the bed tonight. You know what's funny is I think she would understand.
She'd probably be fine with it.
She'd be like, whatever, go for it.
I get it. Go play video games.
Do your thing.
Just send her here to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'll go find a cup of coffee, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, we can send you pictures, Mark.
Okay.
Or videos, you know. Like
every guy needs a few good dick pics on his phone, and if he's not going to have pics of his own, he might as well have pics of his friends.
The
You know?
of me staring in the camera, putting on chapstick.
You gotta make sure you get that wet mac and cheese noise with like. Oh shit.
We might be gay.
We might be gay. Oh god. Oh, too funny. I love it. Yeah, this is my best friend. Literally. When I say best friend, this is my best friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that I told you literally. It was so we had when I lived in Florida the last time and I had my house, we had an open room. And so we were trying to rent out the room. And one of my buddies was like, hey, I got a guy that's looking for a room. I'm not kidding. He knocked on our door, rang our doorbell. 30 minutes after meeting this guy, it was like we'd known each other our whole fucking life.
It was weird.
It was so weird. It was like instant best friends. We were like, yeah, dude, this room's yours. Like, you live here now.
Yeah, I think we talked for like 2 minutes. Like, yeah, totally. Here's you.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's me and my best friend from high school. We're still like that to this day. I can send him the most cryptic, obscure, weird ass text, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Be totally on board. I haven't talked to him in a year and a half, and he's like,
"That's it, right there. You know, you have a best friend if you can go 2, 3, 4 years and not say a word to each other and pick up like you never stop talking."
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep, right there. 100%. So yeah, if you need dice too, if you decide to play, I've got plenty of dice. It's like I don't know. I go through and I pick dice, and if they don't roll well the first few times while we're playing, I switch dice out. And...
Okay, Laura.
Laura Bailey, yeah, I know.
Did I ever tell you the joke about the first time I had sex?
No.
So So the first time I had sex was a lot like my first high school football game. Yeah, I ended up bloodied and bruised, but at least my dad came.
Yes, you did tell me that. I forgot about that. That's so nasty.
Guy walks into a bar, rather younger looking kid, but his ID checks out and he sits down. Bartender goes, "What can I get you, young lad?" He goes, "I want 10 shots of double tequila across the bar. I need them. I need them now." He's looking urgent. "Kid, have you ever drank before?" "No." He goes, "That's a lot of alcohol, especially for your first time. You should." No, kid keeps insisting. The bartender's like, "Fine. I'll keep the phone handy. If you pass out, I'll call 911. You'll wake up in the hospital. But anyway, here we go." And so he pours him these drinks. And the kid goes, boom, 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 all 10 of them, just like shotgunning them. Sets the last one down upside down on the bar and goes, barely looks phased. Bartender's like, "Oh God, give him 5 minutes. Them fuckers kick in. He's on the floor, no doubt." 5 minutes, 10 minutes go by. Bartender's keeping an eye on him from all over and nothing. He's just sitting there. Finally comes back to the kid when things quiet down and goes, "So, gotta ask, special occasion?" So, "Yeah, you could say that. I got my first blowjob today." Bartender's face lights up a little, goes, "Really? It's kind of a milestone in a young man's life. Could I offer you another shot? It's on the house." "Nah, if these 10 don't get the taste out of my mouth, I don't know anything that will."
Oh my God. That's horrible.
All my good jokes are horrible. It's fine.
Those are the best jokes.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that you have to ask the kids to leave the room before you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones.
I'll tell you later, kid. And then you never tell them. But broccoli.
There's one more cold margarita in there if you want that.
May as well.
You're staying over for a while.
I'm staying over the night at this point.
Yeah, go for it, dude. You're more than welcome to.
Well, you guys planned out your spooning session on the couch already. I mean, what the
Oh
hell?
no, it's the bed. Joe's getting the
Joe's
couch.
on the couch.
Okay. Okay.
Us
She
old
fits-
men need the comfy bed, all right?
She'd probably fit on the love seat. She's kind of compact, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right?
She fits the love seat. No
You'll be
problem.
there you go.
In the morning, if that were to happen, like we slept in the bed, she's on the couch. In the morning before she like came in or anything, we switch positions. So we'll switch it and we'll like get in the same position and just lay down like that.
And just look like you passed out exhausted laying next to each other
Yeah.
because you just spent.
Maybe a little bit of dried something or another on the side of our mouth.
Get some mayo. Just put it down.
She'd be like,
What the? Fuck?
oh my God, my husband really gay?
Well, the gay men do say that they're willing to have the threesome their wives actually want. So,
Right.
yeah,
The devil's three-way. Yeah. Exactly.
sure, rotisserie spit.
Well, spit roast never hurt nobody. It took me I'm not kidding you. I literally learned what spit roasting was last year. I had no idea what the fuck that meant for the longest time. You know what I mean, right? You know what spit roasting is? Two dudes having a girl suck your dick, and while the other guy fucks her. It's like a spit roast for a pig.
Also referred to as finger handcuffs or finger cuffs.
Yeah, or the Eiffel Tower. Lots of different options there, but yeah, that's called spit roasting. I had no idea. I was like, what the fuck is that?
That's awesome.
I found out.
And this is the part of the session later that I end up editing because we've been recording most of this. So carry on, gentlemen, carry on.
YouTube?
I mean, if we start a YouTube, we might be on the YouTubes.
At least audio. I seriously considered doing just an audio. I don't know how well it would work, but I actually watched last sessions back so I could take notes on characters and plot twists and shit that I threw in there, which was really cool. But I gotta say, I knew everything that was going to happen. It was still fun to watch, so it was kind of fun.
Sweet. All right, on that note, let's get started.
We make good content. Anywho.
Yeah. we're all rested, right? We don't have any hit point damage anymore, correct?
Correct. You guys did that last 48 hours while Princess was hunting you down.
That's right.
A job opportunities. You guys decided that a little spelunking into the depths of the cave would be good. And, you got a dwarf and his fellow compatriots escorted you down through a lot of carved out tunnelage, very obvious mining intent. You'd see veins of ore and other dwarves in there kind of working their thing. But down and down and down you dwell until you got way down towards the bottom, and it got quite a bit warmer down there, almost like the ambient rock around you is warmer. You're so deep. And the doors finally pull up short of this massive stone arch bridge that goes over this ravine. They stop and they're like, this is as far as we go. They give you a general direction on where you're going once you cross the bridge. They'll set up camp here as kind of a base camp if you need to retreat to here. But if you guys got anything hot and heavy coming on your tails, danger wise, they're just going to run. Don't mind them. They're no heroes here, and they're not shy about saying so. The cavern you're in is spotted on the walls in places with look like flickering lights, kind of a bluish white color. Hard to see at any real distance, but up close they seem to twinkle. I guess a little bit like Christmas lights, but they're up on the walls in a couple spots. They point out this cavern where you're supposed to be headed once you get across the bridge, and it's lit up pretty good. You wouldn't even need your night visions in here. You could just walk along. If you've seen the movie Pitch Black with Riddick,
I fucking love that movie. Yeah.
And the worms that they shove in the bottle, good
Yeah,
representation of what kind of color but
Okay.
these flicker. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Quick logistics question. Those healing gummies that we got, what are those? 2d4 plus 2?
They're
Whatever.
they're 10 points, 20 points, 40 points. They max.
Okay.
I hate having to roll. So
the one, yeah. So the ones that we got are 10s though, right?
I think
The cheapest ones.
the cheap ones are 5.
Oh, only 5 healing?
Yeah. They're the little guys, but they're cheap. That's why they're only a gold a piece.
I think that's the one I got.
I think that's what everybody got was step ones.
Oh, 5 points.
So yeah, to be a D4 plus 1, but it maxes out at 5. So
Got it. Okay.
Bonus action to eat it.
Perfect.
Cool. So you find yourself standing, looking across this long arching bridge. The bridge is probably 50 feet long, good 15 feet wide. You can tell the dwarves have been at work here because it's all filigreed over on this end, where it's some board sculptor just got creative, and they do that. On your trip down here, you saw numerous doorways. They'd either have markings on them for tell which way you're going, but next to that, you'd always see some weird scroll work or some weird geometric shape. It was always really nicely done. Your escorts comment that, oh yeah, it'd take a dwarf about 5 minutes to carve that in. And it's just intricate. I mean, the artwork is delicate, and for big, thick dwarven hands, it almost feels elvish in its craftsmanship.
Is it like direction markers basically, or is it
some? But they're kind of like old timey books. The first letter used to be all fancy. They'd make part of it fancy, some way, shape, or form. But yes, it absolutely is.
Okay.
Shaft 6, branch 21E, blah 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 information.
And the bridge going across, is it like a wood plank bridge, like rope and wood? It's just
solid stone archway.
Okay.
Not a real steep arc. It's not like a Japanese bridge where it's like a rainbow. It's a lot smoother than that. But
okay, I'm just gonna say fuck it and start going across then.
Okay.
No hesitation.
Okay. Fenrir steps out and hot on his heels, Bear. Oh, hold on. I think that's our hand truck. Time out.
Okay. All right, so this is the character sheet. Basically, what we do is
setting up this campaign.
Is that our hand truck?
No, that whole setting up. Setting up this campaign, like, describing where you're at.
So that was just kind of a recap of what happened the last, so we played not weekend before we started the campaign. So we basically went through like introductions, character introductions and stuff, and then he laid out kind of the city that we're in and like the, you know, the geography and, you know, kind of what's going on. And then that's what we can take into the story. And that's with D&D, like we help the story as the character. What we do influences how people the world.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like all the, I mean, I don't know if I don't know how Mark does it. I know when I did it, like, cause I DM'd, I was trying to do it for Joe and my oldest daughter. I did it one time for them. And I had a little book to go based on it. You kind of like basically just come up with shit as you go. And I came up with shit as I went, but I know Mark, he plans it out a little more. So I know he does like, he'll sit down before we do our session. I've already like, know what's planned out and like where we're going and stuff. But that's where it gets, as a DM, it gets hard because control the story really. If we decide to go somewhere that he didn't fucking plan for, he's got to on the fly come up with stuff. So DMing is really hard, but if you're like good DMs, do it so dungeons.
That's right.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's like basically it's God of the game universe.
Okay.
So basically, what we do though is like he gives us numbers to start with. Typical D&D, you would roll a 20, let's put 20-sided die. And so my first stat would be a 19. Great, awesome. Like, let's say you roll a 4. I expect a 4. We don't do that. He gives us like, okay, you got a 16, 15, you know, we start off with, and then all the way down to like an 8, which if you're anything below 10, you're going to get a negative bonus for like, bonus. You get a negative. Anything up 10 or above 10 is a 0. Anything above 10, you start getting pluses for your actions and stuff. So like right now, I'm a barbarian, so I'm really strong. So I have a 16 strength, I get a +3, I get a bonus to strong. And then if you're proficient with whatever you're doing, so like for example, I've got a big great axe. I'm proficient. That's my weapon of choice. That's what I'm proficient in. I know how to use it. I get another bonus. So then when I roll to attack, I already get +5 to my hit, which makes it easier as you know, to hit things that are a higher armor class. But anyway, what we do is you decide kind of what race, you'll decide what race and class you want to be. So like you can be gnomes, humans, you can be black, yeah. You can be a woman, you can be elven,
No.
you can be dwarven. But every race has its own like benefits, like pros and cons. So you can be all sorts.
Like if you're black, you're really friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got that extra muscle.
Extra twitch.
You got that
extra muscle.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
So
white, you're really good at it.
yeah, or you could be like
Yeah,
you could be like a bard. You could be like the guy that like horny bard. That's bards, and that's actually what Andrea is playing as a bard. But I mean, there's so many different classes. This is a halfling, but like there's tons of different races. There's like I'm a variant human, which I'm human, but I have different bonuses basically. But you can be a dragonborn. I mean, there's stuff that's not in this book because there's add-on books you can buy. They have everything. So if you decide you want to be a different race, we can do that. But you pick a race and then you pick a class. I'm barbarian, and then this book right here will tell you basically how to build that class. You start out, you assign your different numbers based on your class. You get different abilities. You can choose different, like this barbarians have paths. Like I chose the berserker path, which means you're just fucking angry and want to kill shit, which is kind of how my character's supposed to be. But there's like
a Viking.
Kinda, yeah. There's nature barbarians. Right, and this is the barbarian, but like there's path of the berserker, path of the totem warrior is a spiritual journey. So like there's and like I said, there's tons of different ones. We can just look up online too, or they've got all the books like on PDF, so I can access those. But whatever. You basically decide what you want to be. You can be a barbarians, wizards, warlocks, sorcerers, rangers, rogues, there's just so many different druids. There's all sorts of different classes you can be. And then once you get there's monks, like there's more religious schools, monks, paladins, clerics. I mean, literally anything you think of. And you could even be like, let's say you wanted to be a paladin because you like what they are about, but you don't want to be religious. There's literally like unholy paladins, which are evil. There's all sorts of, you can literally play it however you want. But this will tell you, this basically walks you through how to build your character and like.
Well, I can see how this would be a lot more fun like in person with the board.
It is, dude, yeah. And we've had like, where we draw stuff. We never had the 3Ds, but man, the one that I watch on YouTube, it's Critical Role, which they watch it too. They're huge, but that's what they do. They literally, their group gets together every week and they have the Dungeon Master builds, and builds a legit like 3D battle map with dude. It is so fucking cool. And there's like lighting and all sorts of shit. And dude, there's other ones that go even further. Like they've got like fog machines, and I mean their battle table is like bigger than my canopy. And they've got a whole fucking thing built out and like fog, and they do like it's like fog of war. You don't see anything until you get to that area, and it'll like reveal what's in that area. Dude, there are some setups that are so fucking cool. I mean, oh my god, man. Like and that's why when they got me into this game, it was like I was hooked. Like I don't have the greatest imagination when it comes to like playing cards and stuff, but man, it's easy to get lost in. Especially when you take like what I'm doing, taking the character and kind of basing it on personal stuff. And it's something that I can kind of play out. And dude, there are Joe and I, before we moved, we had a counselor over there. We were doing a couples counseling, and she was telling us that the VA is actually in certain areas, they're actually getting D&D groups for VA counseling. They're literally, and that's the whole point, is to build a character based on you. Build you in the game, and that way you can help deal with your trauma through the game. And dude, it was like she was telling us about that, and she was like, "Oh my god, that is like the coolest fucking idea." And I totally see how it would work. Like, it's cool. Just building this character, thinking back on a lot of the things from my past and like my younger years and stuff, dude. Like it literally, just building this character was a journey almost, and it was like I can see how it would be therapeutic. And like, and I was talking to Mark about it. Andrea doesn't know a whole lot about my character. It's being kept kind of hush, and that's the whole point of it. But Mark and I have been talking about it, and that like this is kind of a goal of this game, is he's gonna try to push into that emotional and try to like, because that's what I want to do. All I'm about is I want to grow. I just want to grow as a person. I do not want to stay stagnant. I do not want to get stuck in habits. I want to grow. And so that's kind of like part of our goal. Yeah, if you're not growing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. They were doing something, I'm not sure. Put it on wheels. But yeah, it's like this is kind of the goal of this campaign. Work through more and grow more, literally as a person. I was so excited for this one. There's some shit that happened with their family, and people playing. There was three of us. It was me, Andrea, and then Phil and Jordan. Some shit happened with their family, kids, and he got accused of it. Yeah, so our group kind of shrank. This is so it's. We were starting this before all that happened, and so I was like really bummed because I was thought this was something we weren't going to do it, but then we figured everything out, and I've been so excited about this campaign. Yeah, shit, we've been playing with them for how many years have we been playing now? Going on 4.
To me, I don't keep track of that shit.
What? Because it was
before you guys
before
finished
COVID.
school.
Wasn't it before COVID hit, or was it right before COVID hit?
When did we start playing D&D? When were you in school?
Had to have been like early 2020, right?
It was right about Arya's birthday, her first birthday.
It was right around Arya's first birthday.
It was right. It was like 2 months before. So yeah, we were right at the end of 2019. That's when we started playing. So yeah, and we were on. This is what our third campaign.
Technically.
Yeah. We didn't even finish the first two. we've literally been playing we played 2 campaigns for going on 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first campaign was training wheels. It got you an idea how to use dice. Second one, we got a little weird and had a creative journey up a tower. And now we're
Yeah. So that's like, dude, these campaigns go for, I mean, you can make them go for fucking years.
especially when you play every other week. It just whoo.
Yeah. Last weekend was a rough one.
Hey, we all have them.
Yeah, that was.
So
Let's just say Avery and I had to have a big heart to heart the other day because
oh yeah.
yeah, it wasn't a very good day on Father's Day. Let's just say that. But is Andrew back?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, neighbor loaned us his hand truck, and when he brought it over, he's like, "Want a hand getting it upstairs?" Sure. I mean, if you want to go crazy and help us lift this pig upstairs, I'm cool with that.
Right.
I've moved freezers that weighed less, so.
Then just the hand truck itself?
No, the piece of furniture we were pulling upstairs.
Oh.
It was a piece of office furniture her office was getting rid of, and it's a really nice piece of. I mean, it's like I said, it's heavy. So
Yeah.
she scooped that up and
Right
needed
on.
it upstairs in her office, and our hand truck is its property. So
The
Well,
funny
I'm glad-
thing is,
Oh,
I picked it up at work. I got it onto a moving dolly by myself. I had help getting it into my car, but I had to get it down to the loading dock. So then I got help getting it into my car, and then I got it home and got it into the house by myself. But now my
shit.
back's fucked up and I can't move it anymore. So
You're like, yeah, that's not going upstairs.
I was like, I can't do it upstairs by myself. So
I don't blame you one bit.
so you find yourselves at about the midpoint of this bridge. It's, I mean, pardon the pun, it's rock solid. This bridge isn't going anywhere short of a small nuke taking it out. As you move across, you notice motion up above you. At a quick glance, you see dinner plate sized moths flapping around. Not sure how they're getting in here, but it seems they enjoy the moisture and the dim light. As you watch, one of them flaps just a little too close to these flickering lights on the wall, like moths tend to do, being drawn towards the light source. And you see it start thrashing in midair. It goes from flying to struggling, and you see it slowly being winched up to this flickering light. And as the moth gets right up to it, you see this flickering light, a small stinger. I mean, this light is it's a worm this big, but its abdomen twists around and jabs some sort of stinger into this moth, and immediately the moth goes limp, and you can see this thing slowly starting to chew its way through this moth. Far side of the bridge, the air is a lot moister here, cool, moist air. It's kind of refreshing considering how warm the cavern is. This cool, you see it condensing on the walls.
Kind of how it feels right now in the garage.
Sure, a little swampy.
Yeah, we got a cool breeze coming from the fan. We're really getting in character here, Jim.
You know you're in trouble when the fan goes between your legs and you wear baggy shorts.
Gotta cool the boys off sometimes.
You know, get this a little air, you know. In the distance, you see the opening into more dwarven excavated mine shaft. But like I said, in here, there seems to be a lot of those lights. The ceiling's only about 6.5 feet up there, so Fenrir, your head's awfully close. Would have been nice to have a little more headroom, but hey, dwarves aren't known for their, tall ceilinged architecture.
tall stature.
Yeah.
How tall are you again?
How tall am I? 5 feet.
Okay, so you've got some headroom. All right. So we're just going down a tunnel right now, basically.
Last I saw, you guys were standing in the middle of a bridge. I was describing what you were seeing.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and continue across the bridge, and as long as this is the way they said we're supposed to go, I'm heading this way.
Absolutely. The directions couldn't be clearer. There's only one opening over there to head for. This is an opportunity in case there's any preparations you want to make, any, this is the part in the movie where the good guys pull out their lightsabers and get ready for combat because the music gets tense and you're like,
I'll go ahead and pull my great axe off my back.
Right. You hear a distant rumble in the back of your mind as the drum beat picks up. Anyway, yeah, right.
Are healing potions and gummies a bonus action still?
Yes.
Right.
Cool.
So you guys get to the mouth of this cave, and the lights, they're exactly what you think they are. Every few inches, there's these 5 or 6 inch long, thumb diametered cave worms of some nature. As you get close enough, you see the lights flicker from the tip of their head down to the base of their tail and back in a strange random pattern. Or at least it seems random. In here, it just creates a twinkling effect. So much so, there's enough light in here that your night vision is actually creating issues, and you end up having to remove your goggles before they give you a headache. So, you guys going in?
Yep. I'm heading straight in.
So you take one step in, Fenrir, your face gets, grabbed by something. You can't even quite tell what it is, but you walk into it and you can feel it clinging in numerous spots to your face. What do you want to do?
Does it feel like sticky, like a spider web, or does it feel like
it's a lot wetter than that?
Okay, I'm gonna just reach up and grab and try to rip and pull off and throw on the ground.
You reach up and grab, your hand goes through a small cluster of almost invisible tendrils. Think real thin fishing line. So thin it's hard to even see in this low light. But it's also like it's covered in tacky glue. So as you reach up and grab, your hand grabs it into your face and you peel off, and you've got some of it residues on your skin as you pull back. Does Fenrir have facial hair?
Yeah, I've got a beard.
Okay, it really likes to grab into that, but you pull it off and you see 2 or 3 of these worm-like things get pulled from the roof itself, and they're now dangling from these filaments. Your hand is covered in super sticky glue. But yeah.
I'm gonna just smack it up against the wall and kind of scrape down, trying to get it off.
To do that, you have to step out of the tunnel a little ways to find a bare patch because this tunnel is almost solid, but you can absolutely do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want that on my hand, so I'm gonna step out for a second.
Yeah. You're like that guy holding onto the wall, scraping his shoe after he steps in dog shit, but it's your hand.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Ver, are we just enjoying the show?
I am laughing very heartily behind him at him, and I will follow you.
And I'll walk back into the tunnel.
After you've had a good minute, you manage to get most of this off, and you feel the other parts of it. Now that you're out of this hallway, it's a little drier out here, and the sticky seems to almost be drying up relatively quick. Like I said, about a minute later, it's crusting and flaking off. And
that's good.
Yeah. But now you find yourself looking into said tunnel and realize that if all of these creatures are doing the same thing, you're about a foot too tall. Unless you want to keep up, windshield wipering as you go.
what was it that we're going in here again for? What are we going to kill some shit?
You were sent in here because there
disappearing
was
and going crazy.
on your way down here, Cade, the dwarven foreman, was telling horror stories on his trips into the mine depths. Shadows and other flickering lights seem to either injure and run off, or basically at this point there's 3 dwarves still missing. Others have escaped and told horror stories of being ambushed by a shadow. No real details, no real.
And we don't have a torch, do we?
No, but you've got magic, so you can come up with all kinds of options if you want to light fire for some reason.
Well, I was just gonna see if maybe we could melt these fuckers off the wall, but
Go for it. I mean,
I don't have any personal magic. There, do you have anything that's worth maybe clear a path? Because I'm not walking through this shit.
Try prestidigitation and see if I can clean them away.
Okay. Give me a better description of clean. Are you using it like a scraper to scrape them off the wall so they splat on the?
Sweep them all to one side.
Okay. As you start this sweeping process, as they move, but only as they move, do you manage to catch light glinting off the filaments themselves as they move? As long as they're holding basically still, you can't see them at all. But as they sweep, they actually stick to each other. So you end up with this, like, I'm thinking Little Mermaid when they're doing the Kiss the Girl song and they're rowing in the canoe and they sweep aside the weeping willow branches, but it's all filaments and now they're all stuck over to one wall. And you see these worms all starting to undulate, and you see the filaments slowly starting to be retracted towards the worms. It's going to take him a while to untangle and recycle all of this, but for the time being, he clears fairly well. Are you going to take?
Well, I'll follow behind her then while she does that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take point.
So, what kind of pace are you guys setting? Just a casual stroll sweep, or are you guys pushing?
I'm going casual.
Yeah. What hurry are we in?
There it is. Let's track my mouse there for a minute. Advance. Oh, come on. We can get less blurry than that.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I got a quarter of a cookie. It's too silly to want to choose. I mean, not even about a quarter of a penny.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. You look like you're. That's hey, that's enough. I mean, you can drink some alcohol.
Get it to flinch.
A little more cookie.
Flinch.
Okay, I mean, you want some or love to. I show you from that. It'll be out of your system too before you go back.
Oh yeah.
So, to get you on the map, we've got you coming in with the bottom left-hand corner here. You see more of this excavation. This stuff's not as polished or refined. It's a fresher, less polished version of these excavated tunnels. Like, this is more where the work's getting done. They haven't had time to beautify this, or they don't even have labels on any of the branches at this point. But again, the walls are pretty covered. The humidity in here is stifling. The cool breeze that you were feeling has been replaced with almost like a sauna-like breeze coming up through this whole network of caverns.
So it's like being in Florida.
But underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sun, just miserable.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
Just sticky. Sticky,
Ugh.
sticky, sticky. It's the word of the day. Sticky.
It's the worst. That's like
Yeah.
the worst feeling.
And people in Alaska complain about snow. It just, yeah. Pick your grumble.
I want to feel good. I don't want to fuck that
Yeah,
up.
no, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's why you're only getting a little bit. That should be.
As you continue in, you come to the first branch in the road. You're not supposed to get the giggles before you take the drugs.
I gave him a little bit of one earlier. They're pretty potent. So
Sure.
I might be doing it already.
He said, that's probably like one gummy. Hold on, I think.
The good news is the number of deaths from cannabis use is still an awfully small number. Pretty sure it's 0. So, yeah.
I'm absolutely sure it's 0.
Yeah. I know the number used to be that for smoking, but with the new consumption methodologies, I thought maybe somebody might have, but pretty much you just take a hell of a nap. So
I was gonna say it's literally impossible to overdose to the point of death with marijuana.
Yep. They gave a rat the equivalent of 10,000 joints in an hour, and it still didn't overdose it.
lucky rat.
Fuck the hell up.
Yeah.
Good,
Oh
good day
my
to be a
God.
rat. Shit.
Imagine, dude.
They woke up, ate a bunch of food, and went to sleep.
Slept for 7 days straight.
Uh,
Man, it was a good one. That's
as you
awesome.
guys clear the road, these curtains of filament seem to be becoming less and less because the worms seem to be slightly less. There's batches of dark walls showing through. The closer you get to what appears to be a slightly flooded area to the north, you see a lot more of these. But over to the right, it seems a little drier and a little less populated, slightly less humid as well. These things seem to be very dependent on the humidity. And you hear a strange chittering noise.
Can I tell which direction the chittering's coming from?
From the right, for sure. It's echoing down through these tunnels very, very clearly.
Right there. So now we're-
I will go to the right.
Ben, are you keeping up?
Yep, I will continue following.
Cool. You guys work your way around to the right. You come to a set of stairs that seem to lead down an arc to the left. Again, you hear echoed up from the stairwell. Vaguely remember your dwarven guides mentioning strange chittering noises. Pretty sure this is probably that.
And you said there's not really any more of the worms and stuff anymore?
There's still quite a few, but it's about 50-50 now. It's not solid.
I'll still keep following then.
And the ceiling here gets a little bit higher, at least down through the stairs where it's 12, 13 feet high. It almost looks like a carved out natural fissure they built stairs into, just as opportunistic as possible, less labor. So you guys head to the stairs. This chittering continues as you work your way down. Is there a particular stop point you want to do, or are you just cruising on the
Right
bottom?
there.
Right about there?
I will go ahead and take out my rapier.
Okay. Your blade slides from its leather sheath with nary a whisper.
And I look back at Fenrir.
I'm just sitting there, axe on my shoulder, ready, waiting for you.
He's impersonating Paul Bunyan as he waits for you.
Right.
Do I see any more of these worms between us and the top of the stairs?
Bottom of the stairs, you're on your way down.
Okay.
There are, but they're quite a bit up above. It's almost 12 foot high here. Like I said, this is looks similar to a natural feature that has had some stairs carved into it for easier passage.
Okay.
I'll kind of take the pause as a hint, and I'll kind of scoot past, and I'll take lead now.
Okay.
So you're about 5 feet, 3 or 4 steps from the bottom, and you can see the outline of some foliage to the right. You're not quite sure what, but it seems to cover almost that whole cave wall.
I'm going to take a second as he slides past and give him bardic inspiration. Well,
Cool.
give us
You guys inspire up. It's a D6 on any
D6. Yep.
D20 roll. Poor Jim's over there going, D what?
I just mean dice. Anytime you hear like D whatever, it just means whatever number die. So it's a D20 because it's 20-sided.
Well, we call it a D8, and then we turn around and go, it's the 2 pyramids squished together in the middle.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, all sorts of funny looking.
absolutely.
Like there's a D4, there's a D8. So yeah, it's a D12. No, it's a D10. And then you lose them like that. You know, it happens.
That's why you have backups.
Yep. But yeah, so anytime you hear D, whatever, it's just a nice roll. All right, I'll head in.
Okay. As you step off the bottom step, you hear what sounds like rustling paper, but it's a voice carried across this pretty decent sized chamber. From the yellow Lego, which is a seated, presumably male figure from the sound of his voice, arms resting on the armrests of his chair, his feet flat on the floor. He's sitting there rather proper-like. Linen clothes, a decent pair of linen pants, and a shirt. Somewhat froppy hat obscures about the upper half of his face, but you see his lips moving, and you hear this rustling paper type noise almost. Ah, it is nice to see you have come at last. We were promised. The mistress will be so pleased.
Promised
What the-
you.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The mistress was promised in the pact. The pact must hold true. The mistress will be pleased. Please, come in. Let us speak more casually. I can barely see you from there. My eyes
I'm gonna
not
take-
being what they used to be.
I'm gonna take like 3 steps further in.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say, look here, creepy old fuck. The only thing we're gonna be doing here is either letting whatever prisoners and shit you have go, or we're gonna have some issues.
Prisoners, you say? Mistress isn't one to take prisoners. There, you staying put? You moving?
I'm staying put.
Go.
I'm gonna like pull my axe down off my shoulder and like get it kind of more at the ready, and kind of show that a little bit of aggression.
This Emperor Palpatine looking face of his, you see a gentle grin cross his wrinkled form. His skin it's wrinkled beyond description. It's almost like it's flaking. It's so papery. He is so slender. His arms, his hands near skeletal, sitting on the armrest of his chair. His ankles, a little more than skin and bones, and that skin looks like it's about ready to blow away in a stiff breeze.
What is this pact of yours?
Are you?
I'm saying it from behind the stone.
Gotcha. Well, the mistress, she has needs. And for a stipend here and there, she agrees to not eat the dwarves. Truth be told, they don't really taste that well, and something a little less gristly is more her speed. His head turns towards Fenrir. You'll do quite nicely.
I'm just grin and kind of give him that like, you think?
I'm going to exchange my rapier for my hand bow.
Okay. Simple switch over.
We're not here
The
to
gen-
be an offering, I'll tell you that. So again, what we they've got dwarves missing. We're here for the dwarves. You need to hand them over. We can. I mean, you know, if you want to die, that's fine. I really don't give a shit, man.
His head slowly lifts, and from under the brim of his hat, the shadow pulls back, and you can see his eye sockets are empty, just two dark holes. The skin around it just as wrinkled as everything else, but no seeming eyelids, just empty, vacant sockets.
I whisper, those fucking dwarves set us up to Fenrir.
The gentleman. Do you think we haven't been threatened before? That's how the dwarves started.
And
Threats.
at that, I'm just gonna charge forward and swing my axe.
Okay. Roll me a 20.
13, and I'm gonna use my inspiration on this one.
Okay.
15.
Okie dokie. Your blade clips him just over the left ear. And you almost take a secondary involuntary step forward. For you expected to hit, well, flesh, bone, some sort of resistance. But imagine you're chopping through a marshmallow instead. The blade connects and just cleaves. His flesh unravels. And I don't mean it pulls apart and is cut. I mean it unravels into tiny flakes of off gray dandruff looking. They're about the size of a quarter each, and they just kind of flutter. And as your blade continues through, he almost just poofs into this flaky dust that settles around. His clothes drop all Obi-Wan Kenobi style when he's struck down. They're just laying there. And as you see these flakes that were his skin flutter down, you realize it's pieces of moth wings, very similar to the moths you saw earlier, but torn chunks of it that have all been held together by a thin gossamer strand. And as he collapses, you see more strands flick up into the air like marionette strings. Involuntarily, you pull your axe back and look up. Just as roll me dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay, this dice is retired. Oh, that's a 1.
You get pinned to the ground by, from what your viewpoint is, a massive spider. But instead of a head, where its head would be, you see the abdomen and torso of a lithe female form lean down over you, long sword in one hand and a grin across her wicked, evil-looking face. The spider portion of her is covered in that exoskeleton of almost scales, and it continues all the way up across her chest, up across her neck. Only just bits of her face are still flesh looking. Everything else seems to have gone ectoskeleton. So she's armored head to toe in this natural chitin of spider that is almost jet black. wicked smile crosses her face. Her pointed teeth gleam in the little bit of the light that's in this room. She goes, that wasn't very nice. It took me hours to piece him together. He was my only entertainment. Guess now I get to play with you.
And at that, I'm gonna spit in her face.
Okay. She just kind of, she's lording over you at this point. Your axe is flat on the ground next to you because you've been pancaked to the ground. She's not pinning the arm per se, but her bulk is over you. To get up, you're going to have to untangle yourself from this mess of her legs.
I peek my head around the corner to see her.
See her, you do. You peek your nose around. Make me a stealth check. Let's see how well you peek. Or do you boo?
Just one of those. Hi.
Sure, I boo. 11.
You peek your nose around, and she seems to have her attention pretty well locked on Fenrir. She's gloating. She's almost aglow.
Is her head towards me or her abdomen?
You're facing her. The orange is a shock of bright orange hair that comes off of her gray skin. It's the only real color to her, except a purple stripe that seems to run down her spine and across the back of her thorax. But she's looking straight down, so she does not see you. Nothing wrong if you say you want to just wait and see what happens. Or hold an action for
Hold an action for if she moves.
if she moves, as in an eyebrow twitch or tries to move into a different square on the map moves.
If she gets off of Fenrir. I'm holding a crossbow bolt.
Well, your bard is waiting to see if the spider gets off on you, Mike.
Ooh.
So-
I mean, she seems like she might be kind of attractive.
She's not. I mean, under different circumstances, you're sure there's qualities about her that you would find appealing. This personality clash you're having with her feels a little dominatrix bondage, maybe, but you haven't set up a safe word, so there's
All right.
okay.
Is it technically my go now? My
It
turn?
would be back to you because she moved and used her action to gloat.
How much
She-
room between her like kind of her thorax, chesty area and my legs do I have?
I would say your back's on the floor, and then
Yeah.
let's say you're a foot thick just for numbers. And then you probably have another foot before her. So if you wanted to do the coil your feet under you and see if you could shove straight up move,
Okay.
I would say there's a reasonable.
All right, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to try to just real quick shove my legs up and kick her off as hard as I can.
I'll give you a DC 12 strength check on that. So roll me a 20, add your bonuses for strength and see what you end up with.
I got a 18 on that.
Okay. So you shove, and she basically ends up back on her rear two of her 8 legs. The other one scrambles forward like she's trying to reach purchase on stuff, but staggers backwards, ultimately clearing you. To that end, we're going to take a pause and say, held action. She moved.
Sweet.
Taking a pot shot?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you should have
22 to
joined
hit.
out of your crossbow. Pot shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely hits. You hear her
Okay.
scream in pain as this small bolt buries itself basically in her belly button.
5 points of damage.
She looks down briefly and touches the wound, and her eyes travel across and lock onto Vare, standing kind of just peeking around the corner, but you're still holding the crossbow pointed straight at her. So she's like, "Oh shit! Ooh, appetizers," she says.
So was kicking her off, was that my action or bonus action?
Yes, that's full action.
Okay.
You still have your movement, which means you can burn half of that to get back to your feet, so you're not prone, which is probably smart. And then you'd have half your action and a bonus action.
Let me all right, yeah. What I'm gonna do, I mean, I don't know how it'll work, but I want to do one
tell
of
me
those
what you
where,
want
like,
to do, and we'll go from there.
So one of those where like you're laying on your back and you kind of like back roll over your shoulder to get back up onto your feet and like kind of move backwards at the same time. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
You'd be moving out of her range of attack, which would inspire an attack of opportunity. If you want to do that, that's cool.
She's not okay. So she's not considered like staggered from that kickback.
No. She reared back and she got shot. But
okay,
if you tried to scramble away without disengaging, she'd be all over it.
It'll still give me that attack of opportunity. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna stand. Yeah, I'll just stand up then, and I'm gonna hold my ground right there. And I guess there isn't a block action, is there?
There is a dodge action, but it is an action, not a bonus action. So
okay, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna hold where I'm at then.
Cool. You get up and you're kind of in her face, but you realize one of these rare moments that you actually have to look up at another individual because her head's actually a good foot above yours, just because of the way, kind of like a centaur is so much taller because of the horse legs. Same idea here.
Okay.
She rears back and looks at you, hisses and lashes out. She goes, "You will be food for my children." And she's going to what's your armor class, big guy?
14.
Okay. Only one of them hits. She takes 3 longsword strikes at you. She's fast, crazy fast. One of them manages to connect. We're looking at a D8 plus 3. Yikes. That's 11 points of damage slash.
Fuck.
She got you. I mean, God. She laid that blade into you tight.
I am beyond bloodied.
Okay.
Did you forget we're level 1?
Nope. I did not.
No, we don't got training wheels no more, Andrea.
You are bleeding. You took more than half your hit points in one shot. You now have the bleed condition. Every round you will lose 1 more hit point until that bleed is staunched or you die.
You got it. Is that at the end of my turn or the beginning of my turn?
You gotta wait for Vera to do her thing and then it'll be your turn.
I know. So will I get bleeding if when it gets to my turn? Is that when do I take a point when I
at the top of your round? Yep.
Okay. All right.
You know what? I'm going to change that at the bottom of your round. So when you are done, you will bleed a point.
Okay.
Next round.
Got it.
Because that gives you a chance to actually do something about it before you bleed too much. I like that. Let's go with after.
All right.
She pulls the longsword back, sticks her tongue out, and runs it across her tongue as she tastes your blood off the blade. My children will enjoy you. And her eyes literally gleam with a deep amber glow, almost a yellowish gold, but putrid, sickly. You've seen yellow eyes before. These are yikes. Fair. You see her take a chunk out of Fenrir. I mean, that was a nasty hit.
I'm gonna hit her with another bolt.
Okay.
This time I'm pulling out one of my special ones.
Alrighty then.
When you fire this, I'm gonna say bolt. A 5 foot wide and up to 50 feet long line of oil slick follows the projectile. This oil slick is considered difficult terrain, and any creature that starts their turn or moves through it must succeed on a DC 15 saving throw, dexterity, or fall prone. If ignited, the oil slick deals 2d6 fire damage to any creature that starts their turn in the flame or moves through it.
And what was the dimensions one more time?
It's 5 feet wide and 50 feet long.
Shit, okay. Okay, I can see that. So yeah, you oil spooge all the way across the room, just bleh, and it
Shooting her on the
terminates.
way.
It would terminate at her. Let's see if you actually do damage with the bolt too.
With 14?
Hits. Just hits, but hits.
9 points of damage.
This one catches her high in the neck, almost throat area. You see her reach up to grab, but it seems to have been a through and through. But as she pulls her hand back, it's covered with oil and blood. For her whole right side has been basically blackout drenched with this oil. It's sticky, it's thick, but you know if you were to step in that line, which would be a line straight across here, Fenrir, you're just outside of it. It wouldn't be good. It would. It's like axle grease, but not quite as thick, and it's just everywhere.
Okay.
Anything else? Do you want to move? Do you want
I do want to move. I want to move 20 feet straight up.
You're now levitating 20 feet in the air at the cavern ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Decide if that was smart though, because I should have stayed behind my line of oil.
Your turn's not over. You can retro it. I have no problem. It's kind of like
Yeah.
chess. Once you take your hand off the piece, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna retro it.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna use that rock bluff as my safety.
Shield, literally.
Yeah.
Any fun bonus action play you want to
No, not this time.
copy that? Fenrir. Ow.
All right. So
Like-
another quick logistics question. For the healing gummies, well, that'll stop bleeding too, right? Yes, okay.
No,
It doesn't stop bleeding?
correct.
Oh, shit.
Bleed is
Okay.
its own condition. That's what compresses are all about specifically. It keep in mind, if you ate a gummy, got 5 hit points, that's 5 more rounds of bleeding before you're back to right where you started.
Right.
Just
Okay.
just logistics wise.
Okay, so as I pull out one of my healing gummies and I go to, like, real quick unwrap it and pop it in my mouth, I say to her, as sexy as that was to have a woman fuck me up, you done just screwed yourself. And I pop my gummy, I heal 5.
That's your bonus action.
Yep, and then oh fuck. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take a swing at her with my axe.
Okay.
Let's see.
Feel free to paint me a picture anytime you want. Is this a double-handed overhand? Are you golf swinging? Are we?
I'm gonna go. I'm literally, I'm like overhead, like double. I'm trying to double down on her, and it's a 12 to hit.
Does not. It skates off her chitinous hide, leaving a big old scratch looking across her chest. But she kind of chests out a little bit, like, "Is that all you've got, little boy?"
Okay. Oh, that's my turn.
Okay.
Yep.
She looks down at you. She goes, "Oh, you've got my blood boiling now. Your friend's a nuisance, but you're so delicious." And her empty hand reaches out to try to grab your throat. Does a 19 hit?
Yes. That.
Okay. She grabs you around the throat. You feel these needle-like fingers pierce. You take a point of damage, but she's literally holding your throat in her empty hand.
I also took a point of bleeding damage too.
Correct. End of your turn. Cool. Good to remember.
So I'm pulling out another arrow or another special bolt.
Okay. As you do, you see her lift Fenrir a couple inches up off the floor. She's literally holding him up by his throat. You hear he's struggling to breathe.
Once fired, this arrow ignites in a bright, colorful flash, easily visible in the sky. After reaching its peak, the arrow explodes and is visible for miles, depending on the weather and time of day. If the flare instead hits a creature, it explodes, dealing an extra 1d6 fire damage.
Okay. What's your target? Okay. AC 14.
And that would also, if I hit her, ignite the other oil from my slick.
I'm all over it. Bring it on.
Okay.
That's why I asked what your target was. Are you just shooting the ground at your foot where you can't miss, or are you shooting her?
So a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits. Smashes into her bulbous thorax that's covered in oil. You see the thing explode, and then you see a curtain of flames engulf her right side. Her right side. Her sword arm is conflagered.
9 for the original arrow.
Okay.
And 11 for the fire damage from both the oil and the exploding arrow.
Gotcha. So 20
20
points of
points.
damage. Hot damn. Go ahead and make a strength.
And that oil continues to burn for 1d4 rounds.
Okay.
So that, or d4 plus 1 round. So that's 3 rounds it'll burn.
Keep track of that then. Cool. Fenrir's, this explosion happens. You feel her grip loosen, and your throat slips free from her claws as she reaches over and starts trying to pat flames out that are to no avail. Her other hand just gets slicked with oil and is starting to burn too. And you hear a scream that is a combination of peril and chitinous clicking. You've definitely found the source of that noise you were hearing earlier, but now it's mixed with panic and pain. She's not happy. She's not bloodied, but she's not happy.
Okay.
Your feet drop back down to the ground. You catch your breath.
And with that, I am going to rage because I am pissed now.
You Rajay.
Rajay, yes.
You hear that familiar growl come from Fenrir, and you see his shoulders flex, and you see his legs. He grinds his feet into the floor as his body tenses up, and you know exactly what's happening. You stress a little bit, but you know exactly what's happening. And he grabs his axe, and he looks up at this bitch who's now burning in front of him, which, similar to fairy fire, you get advantage on your next attack against her. As long as she's burning, you get an advantage on your attacks against her because she's literally a glowing target.
Fuck yeah. All right. So, and at that, I'm going to go ahead and I have Great Weapon Master. I took that feat. So
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and Great Weapon Master this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing at her.
-5 to your roll, +10 to your damage. As long as it hits.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So that's a 19 to hit.
That'll definitely clock her. As she's focusing on this, you bring your blade around and clip it up right underneath where her rib cage would be. Your blade breaks through the chitinous hide and it starts oozing around your gash wound.
For 7 damage.
7
Or no,
points.
sorry, 17 damage. 17
That's
damage.
a little nicer because you forgot to add your 10. So
That's right. 17.
1, 7.
But she's going away.
Well, yeah.
You see her cough, and some black blood busts through her lips and sprays across your chest as you seem to have managed to make it. You think you hit a lung with as much blood as she just spit out. She pulls back. Her burning hand reaches over and clasps the wound you just created. You hear a hiss as the blood boils across the oily fire. The blood actually staunches the flames in that spot a little bit, but she's holding on to that tight. And for the first time on her face, you see a look of doubt. A minute ago, she was cocky as shit. Now she's looking down at you like, holy fuck, you were supposed to be a snack. You know, my hot pocket's fighting back. What the hell? And she's after you, right? Is there anything else you're gonna do, Mike?
That's it. That's the end of my
Cool.
turn.
Flavor question: do you gash her and pull the weapon back, or did you kind of just bury it there and smile while you left it in the wound?
I buried it and left it.
Cool. You're still holding on to it.
Yep.
Roger that. So you're holding on to it, and she's kind of, her hand is around next to your blade, trying to staunch this bleeding. And she looks up at you, and she just howls in rage.
Hi, darling. You want to say hi to everybody?
Do.
Well, baby.
There's some sour soup.
No, you don't need candy this late, kiddo.
I already have them.
Oh, okay, well, you don't need any more then. You say hi?
Shark,
Hi.
Why are you being so shy?
shark, do.
Do.
Yeah, that's not legal.
Yeah, who is this child? I don't recognize this one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
You know, little miss, I'm in the camera with my tongue out and laughing at your butts.
Right?
And growling at us.
And the growling. Can't forget the growling.
Tired? You seem like you're tired. You're being shy. You're never shy. Oh, is it because Jim's here?
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least she owns it. I got to give her props for owning it.
Right?
I was like,
On the counter in the kitchen. Not out here. Goofball.
She's got a little bit of a 1,000-yard stare going. She's tired.
Yeah. Yeah, she's tired.
Okay. And we're back. Cool. So she rears back. Her abdomen actually butts right up against the wall, and she looks down at you. And she chooses as her action to disengage and scamper, flaming still, over to the other side of the room where there seems to be 3 almost leathery, pale objects over there that she runs over to. As she goes, the flames are still burning, so I need another D6 fire for that. And
It was 2d6 fire, and that's
even
12.
better. Jesus.
Just sit down and chill, okay? Ride this around. Don't sit over here.
She runs across the room. You hear the sizzling. For her running actually fans the flames, and they brighten briefly as they sear deep into her flesh, and she screams in agony. But she reaches these leathery pods and is poised over them, keeping an eye on both of you. And that's her turn. There, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot her again, just with a normal bolt.
Okay,
17 to hit,
definitely.
8 points of damage.
She's bleeding out of numerous wounds. The flames are dying down, but she still burns. This last bolt that you plugged into her, again, lower abdomen, it seems to just disappear. You're not sure if it came out the other side or if it's just buried all the way inside of her. She hisses in pain. Fenrir.
I am gonna just charge right at her again and take a swing.
Your movement's 30.
Yes.
You're 5 feet short.
Okay, well, I'm in a blind rage, so that's my turn. I'm just going for it. That's it.
In a blind rage, would you throw your axe? Would you?
No, because I know I'm not very well versed in throwing it.
Okay.
It's it's a pure physical might type deal. Yep. So that's it.
That brings her back to her turn, where she reaches down with her non-burning hand and scoops all 3 of these leather satchels up into a, well, kind of a bundle carry under one arm. They're all stuck together with this filament and stuff. And as you watch, you see one of them undulate and twist and then settle back down while she's gathering it up.
Takes 9 more points of fire damage.
Okay. Is that the last round of that?
Nope, there's one more.
Okay. She's screaming in pain. She glares down at Fenrir, and her spider legs reach back and grab onto the wall, and she slowly starts climbing backwards up the wall, keeping her flaming arm and sword between you and her as she starts working her way up. She's only about 15 feet up because she's going backwards and carefully. So when your turn comes, you will get one more shot on her.
Okay.
So, and that's her turn. She's bugging out.
Hmm. Whose turn does that make it, Fenrir's? Mine.
Yours, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take another shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna use another oil bolt,
Okay.
and I am shooting it above her.
That'll do. Just at the edge of your 50-foot range on the oil. What's your range on your hand crossbow?
It's 30 to 120,
So it'll be a shot with disadvantage because it's over 30.
but I have advantage for her being on fire. So it's just
But
a
you're
normal
not-
roll then.
But you're not shooting her, you're shooting the wall. Arguably, the wall's got a lower armor class than she does.
A 16.
That'll still do it. Your oil splashes down over her entirety.
Does she take another 2d6 fire damage from fresh oil?
Yes, she does. And so do the pouches she's carrying.
Oh no, that's not good. That's right, that might not be good.
10 points of damage.
Okay.
And so that
She
sets
hers-
off a new D4 round of how
Yep.
long the fire is going to burn. That's a new 4 rounds now.
She gets freshly coated with oil that because she's already lit, the fire carries over and completely engulfs her. You hear a scream come from her as she looks down into her hand and sees the 3, at this point you realize, cocoon sacks catch flame and start burning. One of them ruptures open and a half a dozen smaller spiders fall out and clamber to the ground, each of which is on fire. The other 2 sacks stay together, but you see them start swirling and squirreling and just writhing. Anything else?
They're on fire too, though.
Correct.
I'm gonna go ahead and move now that 20 feet to the north.
Okay. Okie dokie. Fenrir, you see a fresh gout of oil. And keep in mind, from her all the way back to the cave opening, there's now, well, here.
Fire sauce. I like it. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely noticed the oil. Okay. All right, so I noticed the oil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of alter my path to hug the wall a little bit more and clear that path, and then I'm just gonna kind of do one of those like jump off the wall, kind of, and then just try to sink my axe into her.
Roll up.
All
See
right,
what we end up with.
that is a 14.
That'll do it. Just barely, but you clip
And
her.
that was a great weapon master.
And was it with advantage?
No, that wasn't with advantage. Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, see if you can crit it.
14.
Okay.
All right, so that's gonna be. Damn it. So 17 damage again.
Okay. You hop up the wall and your axe comes with the rage filling you and the glee of this fiery form in front of you. You hear the screaming, you hear the wail, you hear the chittering noise, and you're like, fuck you. And you step up and you, little niche on the wall, you stick your toe in and launch yourself up. Your blade catches her right about where her hip line would be, just above the pelvic bone. And it slides in with utmost grace. You feel it go through where her kidney would be, hit her spine, but not even slow. The amount of rage force you've thrown into this, and it continues, clips through the other side of her kidney and almost takes the last of the flesh on the other side. So her upper half does the nearly headless Nick from, so it's still held on by a little tag of flesh. Her legs still kind of holding onto this webbed wall. Her top uncurls. The two satchels fall from her hand and hit the ground, splattering. Fiery objects skitter away from it, but within seconds, the little spiders that are coming out of these egg sacs start popping like popcorn as they heat to super boil and explode in little goo pockets all over the floor.
Awesome.
Slowly, her grip on the wall seems to lessen and she flops down in a smoldering pile. Moments later, the fire in the room slowly fades and flickers to little more than residual light. Fenrir, that was fun.
It was.
What else can you kill?
That's right. Let me see if I scan the room and see. Yeah, I see there.
You look across the flickering flame as it dies. And oh my God, you could cut that up. Yeah. There. You've seen this look before. Roll me an intelligence check to make, and your running for the stairs was muted, so.
Yep, I ran to the stairs.
You're still muted.
My partner better.
There, oh, there you go.
Shoot for the stairs, and my intelligence check is a 17.
Okay. He turns and looks at you with that next level of hysterics on his face. And you're like, oh, fuck. Okay, define run for the stairs. We need to talk mechanics here.
I am dashing using my full.
You see her, you turn and look at her, Fenrir, and you're like, and she ran away.
I use my movement to chase after.
Yeah, are you predator prey mode at this point?
I don't
she
have.
ran.
Yeah, I don't have my sprint, but yeah.
Why don't you have your sprint?
Well,
It'll give
because
you your turn.
technically I used my attack to finish the spider and I would have noticed her and then continued like immediately after her. So I would have only been able to go 30 feet the first. And then she used her.
So you're about halfway to her when she turned and booked it.
Yeah.
So now it's back to your turn, and technically you still have your dash and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash after her now, yes. So basically I'm just gonna stay on her heels, but I'll do my intelligence check to see if I calm down. No,
You're about 5. There's a 5-foot gap. He comes up around the corner and is chasing you hard. So the race is on. In this, you basically have dash, dodge, or block are pretty much your 3 main actions, unless you want to turn and fight somehow.
Is block a full action?
Block is a full action.
Dodge is a full action?
Correct. One avoids the damage, the other one tries to parry it in such a way to reduce damage. Most people like dodge. It does better for most people.
I thought with a parry you technically got a counterattack.
Parry and riposte, you need both.
Oh, okay.
Parry means you used your bonus action to shove their weapon out of the way. Riposte means you shoved it out of the way and stabbed them in the process.
Got it. Okay.
It's kind of a higher level.
Okay, I will dodge.
Okay.
And I will start humming my happy little calm down song again.
Okay.
Like the other day.
Got it. So you're gonna dodge, move 30.
60 still.
Well, you need your action to continue to dash.
Oh, you're right. Nope, dodge and move 30.
Okay. Still Jason?
Let me see. So for that check, I rolled a 15.
Okay.
Do I need to roll my opposing?
No, this is him versus his rage. So are you going to dash to try to catch up, or are you going to?
I'm gonna slow my pace because I'm starting to kind of clear a little bit. I do 30.
Okay, so you're still 5 feet behind her. Her singing's helping, and you seem to be like the gears are starting to work again. It's not all pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
Some of it has to do with that taste. There's almost an oily, burny taste in your mouth that's really distracting, and it seems to almost be helping.
All right.
There.
Yeah, that's it for me.
It seems to be slowing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep my movement up, but concentrate on I'm humming my song. And I rolled a performance check just to see, and that's an 18.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
should be a recognizable tune to him anyway.
Sure. And Fenrir, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
That's a nat 1.
Okay. Yeah. Your brain's not registering the music at this point, it seems, but she doesn't know that. So roll me another intelligence check to see how the rage is holding up at the start of your turn.
That's a 5. That dice.
Yeah. That humming's almost annoying.
I'm gonna move my full 30. That puts me still 5 feet behind.
5 feet behind. In my head, you guys are about 5 feet apart the whole way. She's like kiting you, You're chasing her and you're pissed, and she's like, "Whoa, man, easy."
Sun's getting real low.
Trying to hold me down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep Chase. Yeah, because I don't really have another option at this point. So I'm gonna keep Chase at 30.
Yeah, in rage mode, this type of rage that you're dealing with, your option of thought would be very limited.
Yeah. So I'm just chasing after still.
Holding on to the option that maybe you'll get just close enough to use your attack, so you're not burning it on dash. So it's keeping
Exactly.
you.
Yep. Exactly.
Fair.
I'm so close. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
right.
there.
I'm moving my 30 and preparing to dodge. And when I want to break right, not left.
You got to break right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shorter than him. I'm hoping he's going to get caught in those fucking web things.
I was just
I
about to say
see.
a good tactic there. I picked up what you're putting down. Okay, I rolled a 19 for that intelligence check.
You come around the corner and you're right up in her face, and she hits the chorus of this song that she's. Go ahead and throw me another performance check for ha-has.
8.
Somehow she misses a couple notes in it. You know this song well, and she misses a couple notes, and it somehow cuts through the chaos better than the real deal. These missed notes, while they annoy you, for a moment you're like, okay, she's still human. She's not perfect. Wow, wait a minute. And you come to the opening of this tunnel and you stop about an inch shy of this curtain of thin gossamer filaments just dangling right in front of your face. And as you exhale, from chasing her, you see your breath cause them to almost chandelier like flicker in the light of these worms. And for the first time today, you take a calming breath. Your eyes are still alight. You're still in a rage, but the gap opens 10 feet. She's standing. She's singing. Her blade in her hand is almost hypnotically dancing. It's very soft weaving, but it catches your attention too. The light glinting off the polished blade. And again, you take another deep breath. There. He missed the beat. He stopped for a second. You thought you had him pulled into this like sticky trap. All of a sudden he stops.
I'm just warily watching him and continuing to hum.
Okay.
I've got
So
my rapier at the ready.
you're gonna keep your spot.
I'm prepared to book it if it looks like he's going to come at me again.
Cool. You're gonna hold your action to run. Got it. Okay. Fenrir. Intelligence check with advantage.
16.
Okay. Your feet find themselves almost rooted to the floor. If anything, you take a half a step back just to clear a little space between those filaments. You really don't want any more in your beard. That was annoying. Your eyes, softer this time, look through the filaments at Bear standing not too far away. You recognize her. She's that. Yeah, I remember her. Bear, you can see a look of recognition briefly cross his face.
Okay there, big guy?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say at this point I have calmed down enough, recognizing her that I am coming out of my rage.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we killed her, right?
We should go make sure And if there's any more babies or others, we should check.
Why are we down the ton? Why are
Money.
we found money?
We're being paid for this.
No,
These
I mean, what?
Dwarves died.
Why? No, why are we here? I just the last thing I remember is that spider bitch. Where did we kill her?
Yes, but then you tried to kill me.
And
Bender
that I
sinks to one knee.
Yeah.
Holding his head.
Rage there is all consuming, Betty.
that's why I tried not to get to that point. That's why I didn't want to fight that day. Yes, a couple days ago, whatever, a week ago.
At the train.
Yeah, at the train.
I see that. I was a little bit relieved when you did get angry with her, but yeah, we need to find a way to break that.
The
I
mention
did
of her
have
at the mention of breaking your rage, you feel a little combative. Like she's gonna take away your favorite toy. It's
Let me reword this. I see the conflict across your face. I'm going to reword this. We need to find a way to better use your rage and let it go when it's done.
a beautiful idea. Just saying. Beautiful idea.
Yeah, on paper, that's great.
Yeah, you're right.
So we go make sure she doesn't have any more babies.
I nod and stand up and tail down the hall. Yeah.
I don't want any of those things to grow up.
Did they look
find-
like her? Did they have like spider body and human like ish body, or were they just like spiders?
Well, you go back and look, and from their exploded remains, for every last one of them is seemed to have cooked and popped. It's 8 legs, but you don't see anything resembling a humanoid type head or anything like that. Not quite sure how she was made in the first place, but it doesn't seem to breed true. She was awfully defensive of these like babies, though. She thought she was getting out of here with them, and somebody said no.
I'd like to go over and kind of examine her, see
Okay.
if there's anything of value maybe that I could nick off her, a necklace or whatever.
You find a necklace with a silver charm on it that has an emblem deeply engraved into it. The exact details of what it looks like will fill in later, but for now, it seems to be the one piece of ornamentation she had.
You said silver necklace with a what?
Silver medallion with an ornament, like a pattern carved into it. Think Celtic knot, but not a Celtic knot.
Okay. Got it.
The worms still like this cavern well enough that you guys look around. You find a few more normal spiders. They're only 15, 20 pounds a piece, and it takes moments for you guys to dispatch these. Might have been natural like residents of down here, but you just get the impression that a dead spider is the best kind of spider you can find right now because that fucking bitch. So
If it's a 20-pound spider, it's definitely dead.
sure. Don't find anything in the lines of money. She seemed to be very, very implemented on this. Being more of a nursery for her children. You do find a few sets of very old, crusty armor, a lot of it dwarven size. No weapons per se that are worth salvaging. Any equipment they may have had is either too old or too broken.
Okay. Any other like jewelry among the dwarves
No,
items or
they seem to have been very utilitarian. They were coming in here for a job. Either they're miners and you find a mining pick here and a shovel there type thing. Or it seems like maybe you weren't the first group that they sent down here to.
I have that feeling. Um, Fenrir, will you cut
Yeah.
her head off for me?
Oh, gladly. I go over there and just take it right off.
I pick it up by her hair
Nice.
and start walking back out the tunnel.
You leave for at least the first little while, driplets, as the stump of her neck leaks, but eventually it basically runs dry and you're just hauling it along.
I don't even press to digitate the drops away. I just let them be.
Cool. Basically by the time you're back to the top of the stairs, it stopped dripping. There's just not that much blood left in her head. And what's in there seems to be setting up nicely into a nice congealed mess. Half of her face is crisped almost to unrecognizable, but the other half is straight, almost Two-Face like. She's got a very burnt side and a very pristine side. There's still enough hair on that one side. You got a good handhold. And unless there's anything else you want to look at while you're in here, you're heading back for the bridge.
Bridge.
Bridge. So you guys start heading towards the bridge. Any conversation, any plotting, any planning, any theorizing before you get there? You've probably got 10-minute hike.
I'm gonna kind of reflect on, what again happened.
I think these assholes need to pay us double. They sent us and they're expecting us to die.
Yeah, no, I'm behind that. Or triple. Pretty shisty move. But yeah, no, other than that, I'm just gonna kind of reflect inward about what happened.
They didn't happen to give us another one of those flat backpacks, did they?
Nope.
Okay.
Any particular reason why?
I was gonna stick her head in it.
Cool. So you guys come to the end of the tunnel. The worms that you first filigreed out of the way seem to be slowly working on creating new. You see the string just starting to emerge and a little thin rivulet of stickum run down it and stop. But it's still high enough. It's only a couple inches long at this point. You kind of duck under them out into this chasm. Cool breeze rushes by, and it's a welcoming sensation compared to how hot and sweltering it was down below. You look across where the dwarves said they were going to set up camp, and there's nobody there. The cavern's empty.
Good. I
Fuck this.
keep walking up.
Cool. You come to the first fork in the road. Which way do you want to go, left or right?
We don't remember which way we came down, do we?
So yeah, do we recall which way we came from?
Roll me an intelligence check. Let's find out. You do still have bardic inspiration, by the way. There.
Well, I was say I used mine, but I got 12.
Yeah, I got 12 also. So yeah, I'll use my bardic inspiration. So 17.
You take a second look at the markings, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." And you're pretty sure you even know how they work, the ins and outs of the logistics.
Okay. So I start tracking how I think they work. How the dwarves were explaining to us on the way down.
Yeah, they were pretty much just yammering the whole time, and enough of it seems to have stuck that you work your way back up until you start running into other dwarves here and there. A couple times you stop and ask for directions. This is what happens when you let the woman drive. She stops and asks for directions. But you make it back up. And the first person you run into that you recognize is Cade, the mine foreman. standing at his little desk kiosk, just all mellow.
I set her head on his desk
Okay.
and say, "You owe us double."
I need one of you to mark off one of those healing compress bandages that stops bleed, because somewhere in there you guys put one on.
Right, yeah,
And he-
I'll take. I
Okay.
use mine. And then when she says we want double, I take a step literally right up behind her and I say triple.
Okay. I want you guys to both make either persuasion or intimidation, whichever you would like.
Third nat one of the night.
Okay.
Ah.
You step up and demand triple, but the blood running out of the corner of your mouth and the whole fact that you're beat half to hell, over half dead. You're just not carrying the weight you were hoping it would. It comes across
Modified 20.
desperate. But as he lowers his gaze to Vare, the slight little figurine compared to the bulk of Fenrir standing behind her, and his face goes ashen white.
And then I look at him and I add, "Yeah, triple like he said, or we tell the families of the other dwarves that were missing that you sent them down there for them to die because of your pact with her."
At that, my jaw literally goes, oh, like, oh, fuck.
You discover a ruthless side of Vare you didn't know existed.
I like it.
And to punctuate the moment, you hear a squeaky little dwarf toot, and you're pretty sure he just shit his pants. Either that or it just stinks to high. It smells like he shit himself. I mean, literally.
That's awesome.
He starts shaking, visibly shaking, and he makes a constitution saving throw with disadvantage and passes out on the floor. One of the other dwarves nearby steps over. Cade, you okay? He looks over at the two of you, looks back at
Fine
Cade.
in a minute.
You don't mean him any permanent harm, do you?
He pays us what we're owed.
Okay. Turns and goes back to his business somewhere down the hallway.
Hell yeah.
I nudge him with my foot as he's laying there on the ground.
Slowly, his eyes flutter open and he looks up at you.
Payment.
She's dead.
Just shake the head
To you, by
a
the
bit.
way.
He slowly gets up onto his knees and reaches underneath the desk, pulls out a strong box, drops it on the desk, and he stands up and pulls a key out from around his neck. Hands still shaking like a leaf. He manages to slide it into the keyhole and click it open. And he reaches in one at a time, and you can't even see what's in this box, but he reaches in and deftly pulls out one after another pouches. 12 of them in total. And then he looks up, two of you, and he pulls out two more. He closes it, relocks it, and hangs the key back around his neck, puts it under the table. If she's dead, you've done us a bigger favor than I could ever possibly imagine. I didn't think she was killable. But, and he turns and looks at her head, steps away from it visibly. Hey. This stays between us, yeah? She's looking at the two of you.
Yes.
One last thing then. I get to take the credit for her being dead. I need the win. The men don't trust me right now. He's kind of whispering it under his breath, but he seems
But you can say you're responsible for her death. You just can't word it that you killed her yourself.
done.
Agreed.
For the first time, he takes a deep breath, like he just dodged a bullet, like he saw his life flash before his eyes. And then he gets a look of almost scheming, planning. His brain, you can almost hear it start whirring. And he's making plans. Something, yeah. Whether it's where they're going to mine next because the thread is gone, or you're not sure, but he seems lost in thought at this point.
Anyway, that gold. Take that now.
It's sitting there on the table. He pretty much,
I'm gonna
The
start.
13 bags.
okay.
I'll take mine. Yeah.
So she picks up 13, you pick up 1. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aha.
Didn't you say you pulled out?
14 total. Each one contains 100 gold.
Oh shit.
Well, you said triple. It was a 400 gold bounty. She tripled.
Oh.
He tripled it, and then added 200 on top of it
It was a tip. I like it.
to
All right.
to be able to.
I pick up my 7 bags.
Okay.
7
700.
bags wrong.
And just to remind you, a gold piece is a $100 bill. So.
So I've got $72,000 now.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, I'm rich, bitch.
Look at Fenrir. Go back to Princess.
Yeah, fly back.
Since technically you're still in town, you guys start heading down that way. You guys notice that you're getting a lot of side glances from the residents, the locals. More than one of them walks up. Sir, are you all right?
I just kind of side eye. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
We're just in a bad place. We need showers. Sorry.
He looks like he needs a doctor, somebody mumbles as he wanders away.
I'll just kind of chuckle and keep walking.
You've seen worse car crash victims, but not much. And I'm talking the victim got hit by the car, not was in the car.
Yeah, I'm pretty mangled though. Yeah,
You're mangled. You had an issue, but hey, this is magical world. You'll be fine tomorrow. Take a nap.
That's right. I'm magically healed.
It's magically delicious.
That's what she said.
What's she talking for? Wasn't her mouth full? That's rude.
I mean, not afterwards.
Well, you know.
Just when she was telling the story, all right? God. Why do we gotta get into particulars here? You're ruining the story, man.
Quit putting facts in an argument.
You're making me look bad, guy. We had to know it was only 2 inches long. And around. That's not very good. No,
I
not
know.
at all.
I had it all planned out that Spider Bitch was going to get away. So that's cool. You guys killed her.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw. I was like looking through my sheet. I was like, I've got to have something more. And I was like, oh yeah, right. I took Great Weapon Master. Yeah, that was good.
And just mechanics wise, that was a level 6 rider. Half drow, half spider. Nasty.
She legit almost killed me.
Yeah.
In one fucking hit.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Asked you if you wanted to play D&D for real. You said yes.
Yeah, that was fun. No, that was a lot of fun. I literally looked at Jim and I was like, oh shit, Jim, I might die tonight.
Everybody gotta have a hobby, and if there's no risk, there's no point in the reward, right?
Right?
But again, that's why you're traipsing through town, and it seems like everybody's really concerned for your health because you got fed up.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
Jedi are
I'm
gonna
glad
do that.
only one of those hits hit, because if she would have hit me with any more than one, I would have been dead.
And the bleeding became a real worry. Yep.
Oh man. That's what I get for running in.
You're not coming through it all, hun.
Better.
I got the last half of it. I got Tur out of better. It gave up.
Yeah,
What the
it
hell?
said, nope, I ain't working no more.
They should go in retro on us. Just let the computer, microphone, and speaker do their jobs.
Yes.
Yep. See, and now we hear you
Much
great.
better.
Okay, so we go back to Princess.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. I am asking for a shower and food in that order.
She goes, hey, you know where it's at. Don't let me stop you. She looks a little nervous. This portly woman who's usually so jovial, so usually she's real upbeat. She looks to you like, damn.
I do the opposite. I sit at the bar and I ask for a drink.
Do you get clean first?
No.
Nope. Okay. I'm not critiquing. I'm painting a picture.
Yeah.
You're
I'm used
bloody.
to being dirty as a blacksmith, so I don't give two shits.
Okay.
She hustles up to serve you while I presume Vargos and Scrubs.
And when I come back down and see he's still bloody, I use prestidigitation on him and clean him.
So you find yourself unceremoniously cleaned, consent not given. You're just busy into your drink, and all of a sudden you're like, sparkly fresh. Still got a gaping wound in your chest. Don't get me wrong. It might leak some more. But
Oh, it's leaking. It's
yeah,
leaking.
she's squishy. But
It's
most
the
he is
flat
clean now.
stuff, you know.
Covered by a
white-
compress, right?
Somewhat.
You know.
I mean, he has a big cut. She got him good. It was 11 points all in one shot, I think. 11, 12, something like that.
11 point, yeah. Yeah, I had
Princess.
4 health left, if that paints you a better picture.
Can we get somebody to fix him?
She looks. She goes, well, I could glue it shut so I'd quit leaking on my freaking bar stool.
You prestidigitate the bar stool.
I'll just literally do one of these. Just put my arm up and
She reaches behind the bar and she pulls out, I'm going to call it a medical mend. It puts in stitches. So she leans forward and kind of just slowly works it. She looks up at you, not even paying attention at this point, and goes, no idea how often I have to sew people up. This was an investment. But she slowly works it, and the suture will go in. And then as she works her way down, the previous ones almost slowly compress the wound shut. So it kind of just does this slow zipper. By the time she's done, each pierce, you've had bee stings worse, so it's all good. It's a little annoying, but you're a big bad barbarian. You're not going to whimper over this shit. But sure enough, she stitches it shut, and you kind of flex around. And unlike modern stitches, these actually move and flex just enough that it doesn't bind up. It's good stuff. She goes, I paid 600 gold for this wand, and then slides it back behind the bar. Custom piece.
for that, I'm gonna slide her 3 gold. just for kind of a tip for, hey, thanks.
Cool. She scoops them up and deposits them in a pocket in her apron that you can't even really see. It's just a hidden little pocket where she stashes goodies. And much obliged. I know she kind of cleaned you up for the most part, but didn't do a whole lot for the smell, unfortunately. Could you please go out to the shower? You smell like something burnt. And it's, ugh. And you realize that smell of burnt hair has lingered with you all the way out of the mine because you're carrying around a head that was half singed and that burnt hair just. Ugh.
I'll just down the rest of my drink and head upstairs and.
A little bit later, you guys find yourselves in the common room. It's a couple hours before any revelry might start. This is like late lunchtime. You guys went in to the mine around midnight, so it's a fairly full day. But it's gonna work tonight. You're not sleepy or anything, but it's been a full day almost. And you start wandering your thoughts on what's tomorrow look like. Do I want to put some time into more smithing stuff? Do we want to hit the road next? You find yourselves, I guess, chatting back and forth on what tomorrow looks like. You guys are pretty well bonded that together's working, and that's a rare enough thing to hold on to. If there's more hold going on than that, feel free to plug it in. But for now, things seem to be, well, frankly, she's the closest thing to a friend you've got in this world anymore. And as for hanging out with him, he makes for great story and lyrics. The songs you're going to write about this adventure alone are just,
Right.
yeah. So,
On the other hand, while we're having this conversation, I look at Fenrir. I think I've had enough of dwarfs lately. How about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of ready to move on.
Do we want to go back home or do we want to try somewhere else new?
I don't want to go back home.
All right, let's continue to the next town then.
you know, for the most part, the train is a giant circle, even though it's not all that round, it's a big circle. It's a loop. So if you just follow the tracks, you'll end up in another town. The real question becomes is how long is it going to take and how many nights do you have to spend out on the road? So where you want to go next is completely up to you. You know, home would be a day trip. Move it on out after a couple questions. It's 2.5 days. So you'd end up 2 nights out. And that brings its own complications. There's way stations at certain intervals. The train can make the trip, but many other things just aren't fast enough, like people on foot. So there are way stations. They're poorly guarded. They're dens for thieves and cutthroats. They're almost as bad as the wild. You can risk them, or you can find other combinations between here and there.
Is there a stable in town?
Very stable in town. Where do we get real quick? I think that's what I want right there. There's a pen. Yes, there is a stable in town.
How far would it, or how long would it take to get to the next town via horseback?
You'd only have to spend 1 night out because you could do it in a day and a half. Well, day and a quarter. I'm gonna say mounted your double speed. It's nice, easy math that way.
Bear, do you want to get some horses?
Another option would be taking the train. How much would it be for us to take the train?
From here to the next town, you inquire and choke.
Okay. Horses it is. Sounds great. Let's do it.
Awesome. Let's go to the stables and find out how much some horses are.
Cool. If anybody wants to do a quick lookup, I don't have the player's handbook handy. I'm going page 158. I don't know how close I am, but
Food, drink, and lodging.
I think there's a subsection for like transportation. You can do a cart or a wagon or a horse.
It says coach cab between towns is 3 copper piece per mile.
Yeah, that's if you're hiring a private.
Oh, wait, hold on right here. Horses. A riding horse is 75 gold pieces.
Okay, well, there you go.
You can afford lots of horses.
Horses it is.
He's going to
Sounds
get
great.
6 of them.
Oh shit, you can buy a war horse?
Well,
Right?
yeah.
For 400 gold.
Oh. That sounds like fun.
He just wants the big truck.
With the big wheels and the lift.
Right. Completely impractical, but damn, it looks good.
I wander over to the war horse and just kind of like stroke it a little.
It gives you about as much attitude as you give the bad guys when you're chopping them up. It just kind of glares at you. It's like a kindred spirit. It's crazy. Part of that price tag is that it comes with its own armor and everything.
And training.
Well, yeah, they're mean some bitches.
Mm-hmm.
He wants a rage pony.
Where you can ride that pony.
I'm getting the war horse.
You getting a war horse?
I'm getting the war horse. Hell yeah, money is no object.
400. That's a $40,000 horse.
That's right. This is like the Porsche of horses. All right.
See, I was thinking Humvee. It's a big old thick monster. It's a deuce and a half.
It's the Humvee Porsche edition. It's got the
I-
nice leather interior.
I see.
Because you go away.
Yeah, they're the little like slat ones. All right, so I have a war horse. That's awesome.
Do you want the whole bargain package armor for it, or do you just want a big ass horse that you can ride? Because
I
he
don't
can give you-
I don't need like the shoulder, but I want a helmet on it. I want like
Okay.
He wants modified armor.
Yeah, let me find a picture. I'll figure something out. But
Roger.
Some little.
I like
flair.
that. I like that answer. I'll find you a picture. Works for me.
All right.
Cool.
Getting a regular horse.
Cool.
And then I'm going back to Ned's.
Alrighty then.
And we'll work that out through the week.
Nice.
Let's see here. I don't know where to put this. War horse. And on the hooves, 4 little spinners. They keep spinning when I stop.
Great. Is it the ones that make it look like you're still moving when the horse is stopped, or is it the other way around that they look like they're holding still while the horse is moving? Because they go both ways, so you got to choose.
That would be entertaining. Oh my god.
See, in my vision, you could also get the horseshoes that light up like those kids' shoes. So every time the horse's foot, it would do the like sequential lights.
See, I was thinking more like it had like a kind of like a flint and stone action where every like it would strike and make like sparks.
I think you should go the other
You
way.
you need to watch. Okay, Jim, have you ever watched the movie Krull? Krull. Very old movie. No, see, you need to sit down and have a bromance movie night, and watch the movie Kroll. Because what you're talking about is a fire mare. It's in the movie. They illustrate it great. When they run, they throw sparks up, and they run exactly.
All right.
And when they run like that, they can run so fast they can run right off the edge of a cliff and just keep running. They're cool. So I don't know that yours does that without like magic fuel, but maybe you can get some high octane racing fuel for it. I don't know.
All right. You gotta get that good alfalfa.
Yeah, fermented alfalfa. That'll the rocket fuel.
You should go the other way, and in a giant war horse, when it steps, you have the little like kids squeakers in their shoes on your toes.
Yeah, I'd be shooting that horse in the first quarter mile though.
So it's so fucking old, so fast.
It's cursed. Oh god. Uh-huh. It's kind of like the whole idea of, could you ever imagine those people who work at Disney as Disney princesses that got the high squeaky voices mid-coitus as she climaxes? Would that just not be the worst?
That'd be horrible.
It would be awful.
Like, or like the one from the Big Bang Theory, that one with the squeaky voice. Oh,
right?
Oh my goodness gracious. It's horrible.
So Bear mentioned before you guys roam on anywhere, after you buy your ponies, that she wanted to go to Ned's and thought that we could just kind of work that out via text over the week if you want to do any shopping and stuff. Something planned?
Yeah.
Cool. Your horses are low jacked, just so you know. So if they ever wander off, you can kind of be like, "Where's my horse?" So it's not a recall switch. You gotta go find it, but they're attuned to you basically in such a way that it.
So they've got a tag on
them. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Low jack. You know, if somebody steals your car, you can get it back.
Hey, all right. GPS trackers, I got it.
Exactly.
All right. Cool. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That works for you. Wait until I start pulling out the emotional trauma cards. That is really interesting.
But I was telling Jim earlier, I was like, I'm excited for everything that we're gonna get into in this one. Like, I'm excited for opportunities for more growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fun.
And you're doing a much better job about not overthinking every little micro detail. You just swing for the fences, man. Let's have some fun.
Yep. Yeah, I'm having fun. I like it.
And you're both getting better at talking to each other instead of asking me if you can talk to the other person.
Right. Yeah.
It's getting the flow coming along. I dig it.
I am loving it.
And sometime this week I will miss it.
He said, "I am high."
I am also high.
Yes.
I think that's the other advantage of me watching back the playback is I'm on my side and taking all these factors, all these details, getting into the mechanics of it. To be able to turn around and watch it back and enjoy the show, it's kind of fun.
Right.
And I'm not near as high. And I can take notes.
That helps usually.
It was cool. I'm digging it. Technology. Weird.
This is gonna be a good one. Especially when Joe decides to get her character made and pop in here and there, and
Totally.
who knows, maybe Jim might pop in.
Jim's like, I'm high enough to agree to anything right now. It's all good.
He said he wants to be a chick with giant tits. Yeah, he can be anything. I was a lion in the last one. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I am loving it. So.
Good evening.
All right, well, we'll talk to you guys soon.
This is bizarre. Now it's cutting out on you again. And you're not even on the headset. And it's a different computer. I have no idea.
Stupid electronics.
Technology. Yeah,
I
right.
know, right? All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Already
Okay.
then.
Love y'all.
Remember to do your shopping online.
Got it.
Got it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.